Welcome to the Belize Zoo. We're all gearing up to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the zoo and the second annual Sharon Matola Day. What makes the celebration even more special this year is that we get to celebrate on her birthday. Sharon Matola was an American-born Belizean who served as a biologist, environmentalist, and zookeeper who dedicated her life's work for the conservation and preservation of wildlife. So come along with me. Let's go and discover why this place is considered the best little zoo in the world. In 1983, the Belize Zoo, housing only 20 animals at the time, was considered merely a backyard zoo. Over the years, it has transformed and now it houses over 45 different species. Tomorrow, we get ready to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the zoo along with Sharon Matola's Day. But for us to fully understand and appreciate the history of the zoo, we must first learn about it. I'm here with Humberto Wallers, who will tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, well, thanks for that, Annalie. It's quite a pleasure to be part of the Belize Zoo. Probably it's one of the oldest employees here, going for 32 years. And I joined the Belize Zoo when I was just 21, and the zoo was at the infancy stage. It was in the backyard. Sharon was a lot adamant of creating a bigger zoo, a bigger picture. And she lobbied for funds. She lobbied for a place here. And so in 1991, we transferred from the old zoo to a new site, which encompasses about 27 acres of land, where we had more expanded habitats. There was more rooms. Pathways were made up of pebbles, but they were pretty good. So there was enough space for every individual, for every species in the zoo. So here we have Edgar Hill, who was rescued from the Mennonite community. Just to tell you a little bit, this is one of Sharon's projects called Human-Jaguar Conflict, where in 2003 there were reports of 50 jaguars being killed, either killed, poisoned, and so they sat down with the forest department and they decided that, the only way we could help these jaguars, saving these jaguars, is to bring them here to the zoo, do something really positive to save them. In many times and cases, these are older jaguars with dental issues, different health issues. For instance, Edgar Hill, he came with eye issue, and eventually had to be removed because it was causing a lot of pressure in that. However, I would say it's quite a healthy cat in terms of, everything, his physical values and exam shows that he's pretty good. However, we cannot release him back into the wild. He's already used to us here. They need their canines. A lot of time, all those species were missing. And so she started this with the idea of saving all these jaguars, from being killed. Rather than being killed, they're going to come to the zoo and play a big role. Currently, we have 12 jaguars. We were up to numbers, but as you know, they age, they get older, and some of them they come here a couple of years and they can't go anymore.
We're here with Edward, who has been a zookeeper for the past 4 years, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what exactly is his job description here at the Belize Zoo.
So here at the zoo, I've been employed for almost 4 years now, and my main job is being a zookeeper. My job is to make sure the animal has food, clean water, shelter, he's healthy. That is what my purpose of a zookeeper is here. also to making sure that their safety and the public is safe also.
All right, so walk me through like a typical day for you here.
So my regular day would be coming in the morning. First thing I would do if we have babies um, that we have received, like recent rescues, the first objective would be to take care of the babies or the sick ones. So at the moment we have a baby, and what I have to do is to make sure I bottle feed that baby. He is number one before the rest of the animals. And then I would come, I would release, make my first diet for the tapirs and the deers, and then clean your poop, wash your ponds, put fresh water, and in the evening time I would feed again. And that would be until 5 o'clock. If there's a need to go above 5 o'clock, we would, especially if there's an animal that is sick or has recently got an injury, we will attend to that animal right away.
All right, now I understand that each zookeeper is assigned to a specific area. Yes. Tell us a little bit about your area.
So the area where I work at the moment is a very large area. It is composed of the tapirs, the deers, the reptiles, the primates, or rodents, the pacas, the porcupines. So it's a lot. Each animal that we take care of, it has a different diet. So for example, our mammals, or the tapirs and the deers, they would get fresh fruits and vegetables, leaves, celery. And for monkeys, we'll prepare plates, boiled egg, peanuts, bananas. It's like a big plate of 5 pounds. And then for the rodents, it would be roots and fruits. So it's a whole mixture, and with the reptiles, rodents, and meat for the crocodiles. I love what I do. I never expected to work with wildlife, but it's something very cool, something that you won't get to do every day. And coming and interacting with the animal, getting that bond with them, it's something really awesome. For example, in my case, I never knew how a porcupine looked. I just saw pictures of it, and when I started working here, I got the opportunity to not only work with a porcupine, but to actually raise it from young. Also, an anteater, I never saw how an anteater looked and what it ate, and I had the opportunity to bottle feed this anteater until the size that it's now, and still caring for it. So for many Belizeans, I think that not all of them know what all of the beautiful animals that we have in our country. And when they come, they get amazed to see, I didn't know that that animal exists. I didn't know that we have that here. So, and it also lets them appreciate the wildlife, and by us educating them and telling them, don't burn, don't do wildfires, don't deforestate, don't destroy these animals' homes, because then they're forced to come into our territory, and then we have animals and human conflict. So you end up killing them, but they're just trying to live. So it's important that we learn to bond with our animals, to appreciate them, to live close with them.
In Belize, the tapir is the national animal of Belize, and we're here with Indy, who is a tapir, of course, and another name for a tapir is a mountain cow. Correct. I'm here with Mr. Humberto. It's time for Indy to eat. Nutrition is a very important aspect of sustaining life, so tell us a little bit about that.
All right, as you know, tapirs are herbivorous animals. They're closely related to horses and rhinos, and most of their food is plants, leaves, twigs, and here we have to replace that. We prepare special diets, which includes fruits, vegetables, including some horse feed, and we switch that around. Other days we will collect only leaves, so that he would receive the adequate amount of nutrition he requires to keep the body, sustained. Yeah.
And apart from the variety of foods that you gather for him, how important is it to keep him hydrated?
Right. So basically, tapirs live alongside of pools, rivers, streams. On hot days, They spend a lot of time in the water, keeping cool, keeping flies, keeping the bud flies away. Here in the zoo, what we do is we provide every tapir, or every tapir, every mountain cow, we provide them with a pond that they would soak themselves in there on the hot days.
Now, you were telling me that Indy is a rescue. Tell me a little bit about his story.
Right. So 14 years ago, a distress call came uh, from Independence. Somebody reported another person having a tapir as a pet, and either it was a pet or destined for the pet trade. So the forest department, in conjunction with the Belize Zoo, made that call and went to confiscate it. He came during the night. Actually, I remember they coming during the night, and he was like really small. He weighed no more than 25 to 30 pounds. Right now he's around 340 pounds, an adult tapir or tapir.
How long
Yeah.
has he been here?
It's going for 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is the average lifespan?
Average lifespan for tapirs in captivity in human care is 30 years.
30
Yeah.
years, so he's middle-aged.
Like, if you guys remember April the tapir, she lived here 30 years. It's one of the longest lived tapir in captivity. This is what makes our tapir the ambassadors here, because we are like their family. They depend on us. They depend on to provide them with the right and proper diet every day, clean their pond every day, find enrichments to stimulate their daily lives. So it's not just to put them in there and it's the zoo. No, they have different activities that we can do with them.
We have Yashkin here. It's time for him to eat, and we know that it's a him because
of his antlers. That's the difference between the male and females, that the males would have antlers.
And how long does it take for their antlers, or is it from birth that their antlers start showing?
Whenever they're young, they have this little knobs, and then I believe at a year round, you can actually start seeing the antlers starting to come up from little knobs on their head. So Yashkin has been with us for 3 years because we got him during the pandemic time. He came from the northern part of the country, from Yo Creek. He was being kept as a pet. The story that we got when we got him is that he was not really getting a balanced diet of fruits. He was getting dog food. They were born to be wild. None of us would like to be locked up in a cage for life. Sadly for these animals, because they are animals that were taken from their mom or shot the mom to take the young one. Now they're forced to be kept as a pet, and if you don't have the proper knowledge on what they need to actually have a very healthy life, then you are just giving them a very bad life. They belong to be in the wild.
So I just got finished feeding Yashkin the white-tailed deer, and we're on to discovering another species that is housed here at the Belize Zoo. So tell us a little bit about the spider monkey.
Right. So this is the spider monkeys are one of the endangered species in Belize. Back in the 1950s, the yellow fever swept most of the population, and currently still recovering, but in isolated areas in reserves in the forest. But these are one of the spider monkeys. Besides the yellow fever, it was more of Belizean or the local people keeping spider monkeys as pets. It's was one of the favorite animals that people would keep. And so our troops here were once pets, chained to the house post, right? And again, with the government authority, with the forest department, we went there. We do confiscation. We bring them here to the zoo, or we transfer them to the rehab center up in Corozal. But this has been actually a very small troop of monkeys that we have kept for a long time. And so this is what we try to depict is a natural habitat. where you see there's not much of a fence. You know, the only thing that's keeping them inside would be some electric fence. It's, I mean, they are very smart animals. They learn once. Once they touch it, they won't go out back again. This is like their habitat during the day. As I said, at 4:30 we start calling him there, and we call him through shift doors.
Okay.
Like they come in through a shift door, and we put individually. They have their own table, their own room, and so we will know which animal ate, which animal didn't. As much as you know, people love animals, we discourage them from keeping them as pets. They're they can pass on zoonotic diseases, which is tuberculosis is one of them. They can pass on rabies. People don't know that. And parasites, of course. There's the animals, they do have their own parasites, and it can be passed on to people. And so those are the things that we have to be careful with keeping spider monkeys as pets. And here we design like a routine, yearly routine that we do tuberculosis test, just like us, like people do their test. Veterinary care on time. So they do get their health checks every year without fail.
Is there also a mechanism in place where you get to assess and ensure that zookeepers and everybody who is a part of the Belize Zoo are doing what they're supposed to in the best interest of these animals?
Yes, there is, and that's why we only choose zookeepers that have that passion, you know, and that drive to be able to learn new things. Because remember, we don't have a zookeepers school here, and we learn it here, right? And we translate that to the new zookeepers, and with the hope that they put that into practice, right? That's why we would have very good, healthy animals. We'll be able to deliver our medicines to the animals on a timely basis and very good without upsetting them. A couple of them are once pets, and so when they see people, the first thing they want to do is they want to come close to the fence, expecting a treat, right? But as you know, we prepare their own diet, so they expect that. But for instance, I have this routine that I have to go and see the animals in each habitat, and to bring them closer, I take treats, and that's why I brought some raisins for the guys, give them some energy and some iron.
To be a part of the festivities.